Should the Bitcoiners be worried? Is Bitcoin vulnerable to a quantum computer attack? Is Bitcoin quantum resistant? The answer is yes. Bitcoin is vulnerable to a quantum computer attack in the future, despite its current perceived security. So the question is, what are the Bitcoin maxis going to do about this problem? One solution that I've heard is to fork the network by creating a quantum resistant chain that Bitcoiners will be able to transition their current asset to. But that involves too many complications. And all the wallets on the network that are not forked will remain vulnerable. So a substantial amount of Bitcoin will remain hackable. So how do we solve this problem in a way that forking is not required? In my opinion, if you have to fork the blockchain, fork the network, then it wasn't that robust in the first place. Our currency, our economic system must be built on the most fault-tolerant, quantum-resistant, computation-resistant system ever. And such a system cannot be a system that requires forking. That goes against the principle of the entire thing. And this is where triangle infinity circle comes in. Triangle infinity circle is the world's first fault-tolerant, quantum-resistant, computation-resistant protocol, consensus, and currency. What does this mean? This means that triangle infinity circle, unlike Bitcoin, is domain agnostic. Bitcoin's proof of work algorithm is computational, so it can only exist on a computer. On the other hand, triangle infinity circle's consensus algorithm is a general algorithm that I derived and I discovered is a fundamental principle in nature. So this algorithm is so robust that it does not need to exist in computational form. And I believe that the only way to create a post-quantum, post-computational consensus algorithm is by transcending physical computers, is by having a consensus that isn't locked into a computer system. And that is how we solve this problem. So what is this algorithm I speak of? I call this algorithm the general intelligence algorithm. Why is that? Because I derived this algorithm when I was attempting to solve intelligence, when I was attempting to figure out the origin of intelligence, and not just human intelligence, but universal intelligence. The intelligence that gave birth to humanity, gave birth to the universe, gave birth to everything that we could perceive. What is this fundamental intelligence that underpins our reality? And I made my discovery when I realized that we couldn't achieve this with our current languages. And these languages are mathematics and physics. Many of us, since we were children, learned that math was the language of the universe. We learned that if a creator existed, the creator used mathematics to create the universe. But what if that's wrong? What if mathematics is just one of the possible languages that exist that we could have discovered? What if there are more powerful languages that exist, that supersede mathematics, that could override mathematics? What are the implications of that? Well, the implications could be catastrophic because our computer systems, including the Bitcoin proof of work consensus algorithm, are all based on mathematical principles. But if mathematics isn't the most powerful language that we could have discovered, then does that mean that our computer systems and our Bitcoin's proof of work are not as robust and powerful as we claim? Yes, this means that all our math-based systems, including Bitcoin's proof of work consensus algorithm, will immediately become antiquated, will immediately become outdated. And this is where triangle infinity circle comes in, as triangle infinity circle is the world's first protocol, consensus algorithm, and currency that is not mathematical, that is not computational. As a matter of fact, it exists purely as an abstraction, allowing the consensus mechanism to transcend all limitations, physical, computational, etc., making triangle infinity circle the world's most robust, fault-tolerant, quantum-resistant, computation-resistant consensus mechanism ever designed. And that is why triangle infinity circle will replace Bitcoin, will replace all other existing currencies. The triangle infinity circle consensus mechanism exists purely as an abstraction, as a formula, similar to Albert Einstein's formula for energy mass equivalency, E equal to mc squared. But unlike Einstein's equation of energy, my formula for intelligence is what underpins this new consensus algorithm. The abstract nature, the simplicity, and universal accessibility, along with the fact that this formula and algorithm has infinite value, makes it the perfect candidate to replace the gold standard and the Bitcoin standard with a new standard that I call the intelligent standard. To learn more about Triangle Infinity Circle, make sure you visit our website, triangleinfinitycircle.com or .org, to read about general intelligence theory, the theory that backs this new protocol and consensus. Make sure you pick up my most recent book titled General Intelligence Theory. Go and get your currency now. Go and get your value now.